That's not a comic book. Now that's a comic book.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Comic Reviews. I'm Sid Part 2, and I have a fair amount of books to get through today, including the trade. I'll go through what they are in a second. I just want to say hi to anyone that is watching live. Don't seem to have anybody yet, though. But we're here to talk about something that's not live before we get into the books this week. If you just want to skip straight to the books, links down in the description for the timestamps. Anyway, so I've been doing comic reviews for about 2 years now, and I've been doing trades as part of that intermittently. And first things first, neither of those things are going away. And I'll talk about this again later in the show, but I want to catch the people watching after the fact right away. Have someone to talk to you about that you're actually interested in. So I've been doing trades off and on, and I have a list of 54 trades that I've done. And someone suggested in the comments on my last episode of Comic Reviews that I should be posting those as separate videos, and I do really like that idea. I wanted to get feedback from my audience to see what they would like. Would you like for, I don't know, a couple weeks to just get 2 videos a day? Like I could be posting a trade review every day for 54 days. I just don't like to overwhelm people's feeds. I know how annoying it can be to be subscribed to someone who just constantly uploads all day, every day, and it's just, you just stop watching their stuff. So I just want to talk to you, the audience watching after the fact, and let me know what you think. For people watching live, people joining live right now, I'll get into this again later on in the show, but feel free to stick around for that, and I'll get the live audience's feedback on what they would like me to do. If it'd be, once a day, post something, once a week, or whatever. So we'll talk about that. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about the books we're discussing this week. First up is Captain America, number 25. Secret Empire, number 8. Mr. Miracle, number 1. Venom, number 153. Invader Zim, number 22. And then we do have a trade to talk about tonight, which is Black Panther for the Hard Way. So we'll be getting into all that. And let's go ahead and start out with Captain America, number 25. Now, I read this out of order. Let me see something here. Let's look at Secret Empire. So Secret Empire just opens right away, and it doesn't tell you read Captain America number 25 first. Even if I go through this, there's nothing. Oh yeah, it says, warning, read this issue after Captain America number 25. Here's the thing, I don't read this catch-up page anymore, but if I go back to get it, why would you put that anywhere else? Why is the catch-up page after a prologue? Why not put your title page there to do your double cover bullshit? That's silly. It's stupid. Anyway, so yeah, I didn't read Captain America number 25 first because I went on a website and said to read Secret Empire number 8 first. I don't know why. Hey, Deadpoolzola. Hey, Akuma Ranger. Welcome. I'm still reading Venom because I'm hoping it's going to turn around. Anyway. So, this issue is just bad. There's really no other way around it. Starts off with Tony Stark and a birthday cake, and then it goes straight to Steve Rogers giving a Nazi speech, and then new tie-in and Wakanda being attacked. Okay, fine, new tie-in. Greedy Childs wonders why I'm streaming earlier than usual, because I finished my books earlier than usual. New tie-in being attacked. They had a whole plan. This was Magneto's deal. that he would be able to be prepared. And they're just seemingly really easily taken down. So that's stupid. But then Wakanda's being attacked. And they're brought down by literally one telepath. The entire empire, the entire nation of Wakanda is conquered by a single telepath. And it's not like some secret weapon telepath. It's not like Bruce Banner where, oh, we thought this guy was dead, turned into the Hulk to attack the Resistance. This is a telepath that the Wakandans knew was working with Steve Rogers. And he just apparently walks right into the Wakandan palace and has control over significant portions of the military. That makes no damn sense. That is just stupid. Why would you have Black Panther be conquered like this? Like, this is thoughtless. This is entirely thoughtless. And it's stupid. And it's dumb. And I don't like it. I read Secret Empire number 8 first, and I saw that Wakanda had been taken. I'm like, well, I mean, fair enough. If they're overpowered by Hydra, that's one thing. But this is your explanation for how Wakanda was defeated. Not with just sheer overwhelming military might, but a fucking telepath who's like, no, I mean, I've never even fucking heard of this guy. Dr. Faustus, he was in the lead up to Secret Empire. But like, a single telepath takes down Wakanda. That's dumb, right? That's just stupid and thoughtless. Wakanda plays war games. They're a very isolationist, very suspicious nation. Why would this be something they don't have a backup plan for? Like Faustus says, oh, well, your people have a very strong and independent will, but a little bit of Western capitalism has seeped in there, so I was able to extort that in a large enough portion of the population to completely stop your empire, your country. That's stupid. They don't have a plan for a telepath? This is awful. So anyway, then we get to the actual story, which is Sam Wilson giving a speech to say, hey, there's a concentration camp. We should go fucking liberate that. So they go to liberate the concentration camp with the Inhumans in it, but it's being completely destroyed from the inside because the Inhumans have revolted. Good for them. So they help, and this girl's like, hey, thanks for all the help. And they're like, well, you seem to have everything covered yourself. We just came in at the last minute. And she's like, yeah, Barf did that. And they're like, who's Barf? And he's this Inhuman that we saw very early, I believe issue 1 of Secret Empire, or maybe even issue 0. He has the ability that if he sees or visualizes something, he can barf it up. They use that ability to get a cosmic cube. Nick Spencer literally created a character. I'm pretty sure he's an original character. Nick Spencer literally created a character to vomit out the magical object that's going to save the day. I want to repeat that. Nick Spencer created a character specifically designed to vomit the Deus Ex Machina. That would have been such a smarter sentence if I had been able to pronounce that word, that series of words. That has got to be, like, okay, Wakanda doesn't have a contingency plan for fighting just a single telepath. So if, you know, Professor Xavier, Emma Frost, or literally any other telepath in the Marvel Universe ever decide to take down Wakanda, they just get to walk right in the fucking door. Okay, dumb. You created a character to literally throw up the exact thing you needed. That's stupid. That is stupid. And the reasoning they give for the fate-changing moment in the last issue with Miles Morales Spider-Man deciding not to kill Captain America is not Miles Morales Spider-Man making an ethical decision, which isn't ethical. The man's running concentration camps and killed a city. He's a corrupt, evil leader. He deserves to be dead. Is that Steve Rogers has been holding on to his fragment of the cosmic cube, and if you use it when you are super desperate in just the last possible second, or you really, really need something, it's a limited use, it will change reality. So, the reason Spider-Man didn't kill Captain America in the last issue was because of the cosmic cube fragment. And the Resistance, Tony Stark, realizes this and goes, so we can use these small fragments to just give us that extra little edge to be able to do some stuff. So if we have some kind of fantastic plan to be able to destroy the shield that's protecting the Earth and everything, then we can use that. And if we use this second fragment we have to burst the bubble surrounding New York, then we can use that and break through. And so that's the plan. And then the big reveal at the end of this issue is that Namor has been hiding Bucky the whole time. Akuma Ranger says, to my knowledge, Faustus isn't a telepath but a master hypnotist. I mean, still though, it's mind control either way is what I was getting at. So like, why don't they have a plan for that? Like they just, all right, ignore the telepath part of it. They know the assets that Captain America has working for him to help control Hydra. There should be a contingency plan for every single one of them. Like, Faustus isn't some, you know, last minute rabbit out of his hat kind of thing. He's been known since the beginning of the Secret Empire stuff. They know that, like, he was working for Captain America. He's been a public face. They should have a contingency plan. Just not even Wakanda should have a contingency plan. The fucking world should have a contingency plan for every goddamn superhero that is working with Captain America, or superpowered being that is working with Captain America. This is stupid. But anyway, so yeah, Bucky's alive. This book is awful. It's thoughtless. This is what happens when you completely isolate yourself from criticism. This book is bad. This book is really, really bad. All right. So let's go ahead and talk about Secret Empire number 8. So what does all this come up? All right. Giant Man made a time machine, but it's not like a go back in time kind of Trunks time machine. It's a time capsule that in 100 years after being buried in the earth will come out of the earth and send a transmission back in time that will play minutes after it was buried. Okay, fine. time machine. Seems like there are better options. The reason they say that they built a time machine but don't want to use it like a time machine is because it just creates an alternate universe. But the universe they're in would still be fucked. America Chavez can jump between dimensions! Fuck! Whatever. Alright. So the message they have played is Sam Wilson giving a speech. Everybody, hold on to hope. We need you to get these little tiny cube fragments if you have them, and really, really, will them to do this one great thing. Way to announce your plan. But, okay. So everyone at that moment is now preparing to put any plans they have into action, try to save the day, and use that to get them that little extra edge. Use the Cosmic Cube to get that little extra edge to save the world. Man, this is stupid. So Sam takes off to go try to break the dark dimension, and within the dark dimension, this is just a really stupid scene. Like, this is just totally dumb. Alright. So within the dark dimension, Doctor Strange has made a deal to learn a spell that will get him out of the dark dimension. Him and everybody. That will collapse the dark dimension. How did he get that? Well, the librarians, who are some mystical Marvel creatures, want his brownstone. Excuse me? We have the spell you desire. You asked what it would cost. What would the librarians want with the Sanctum Sanctorum? Are you serious? Have you never been on Zillow? That's prime Greenwich Village real estate. We'll probably cut it up into condos. I don't believe this. Believe it, Doc. We're tired of tourists snapping our picture thinking we're the Ghostbusters lady. Yeah, and what do you need with Manhattan real estate, anyhow? With those property taxes, you'd be way happier in Brooklyn. Captain America just gave a speech to, unite everybody, save the world. It's supposed to be the most desperate hour. It's supposed to be your last-ditch effort to try to save everybody and turn the tables. You're making fucking jokes about Zillow and Greenwich Village that aren't even funny. I'm all for comic relief in a scene. That's kind of here. There's a short scene with Iron Fist, and he makes kind of like a quick little one-liner. That's fine. A whole fucking page dedicated to a stupid joke. That's stupid. That's what that is. You dedicate a page to a stupid joke, you dedicated a page to stupid. Alright. So anyway, Sam's above the dark dimension, above New York, trying to get the cube close enough so that he can, give that little extra edge to collapse the bubble. But then Sam Wilson gets shot in the chest by plane. Just one bullet, though. Feel like they fire more rounds than that of significantly greater size that would leave much more of a problem on impact, but whatever. So Sam collapses into the ocean, and the attempt to blow up the shield doesn't work either. Captain Marvel's doing a thing. Then the narration says, and with that, it was over. Or so we thought. We had fallen so many times, but this time something different happened. Something miraculous. This time, we got back up again. This time, we refused to surrender. This time, we refused to accept defeat. This time, we hit back. And then, for some reason, Maria Hill kills Black Bolt. I can't quite figure out why. So anyway, shield collapses, day is saved, dark dimensions, bubble is popped. Oh man. Anyway. So yeah, they use the Cosmic Cube fragments to save the day, and then Namor shows up and he's got Bucky, and they're gonna go attack Steve Rogers, apparently. And then in the end, we're left with this weird, trippy scene of dream hell Steve Rogers encountering lost Kobik. This is pretty dumb. There's just no getting around it. This is pretty dumb. And, you know, after I did that whole ranty video talking about Scott Snyder's Batman and how I thought it was a really, really bad run, which I do, honestly, I stand by that. I do not think that is a good run on Batman. It's not insulting to the character, though. It's not horrendous and a scar on the character. It's just not a good run on Batman, in my opinion. But I did that whole video and Nick Spencer comments, and I kind of felt like a dick because I was a little too mean in it. Not really. I didn't say anything mean about Nick Spencer. I was really, really harsh on that book or on Endgame, because I really, really hate Endgame. I don't even hate this anymore. This is just stupid. This is just bad writing on top of dumb ideas on top of an insult to the character. That's all this comes down to. This is just poorly conceived. And it's just a mess. Like, again, you have the Deus Ex Machina vomited out of a guy's mouth. And, like, he seems to be, oh, isn't this funny? Isn't this comic book weirdness? Because Tony Stark has this line where he's like, I am so excited to be here for the most ridiculous thing ever. That's dumb. Writing a isn't that funny line doesn't save it from being a bad decision. Would anyone like to buy some really awful comic books? Selling them cheap. Just need, I don't know, a couple hours of my life back in exchange. All right, let's move on with comic reviews and talk about a good book. Mr. Miracle, #1 by Tom King with art by Mitch Gerads. Gerads? Gerard? This book's going to come with a warning to folks. This deals heavily with issues of suicide and depression. So if you suffer from those kinds of ailments, let's call it, you know, you can sit here and listen to me talk about it, by all means, but just be aware. It's kind of a hard thing to watch someone go through in fiction. And it should also be said that this issue does not resolve any of those problems. This issue demonstrates them and does not give you any solutions. It gets pretty twisted. Okay. So we open with Mr. Miracle on one side, Rick on the other. Is he a master of spectacular trickery, or is he something more? You will have to decide when you confront the strangest, most incredible hero ever to appear in comics. You'll see what he does, you will wonder how he does it, but always waiting in the wings are his two greatest enemies, the men who challenge him and death himself. All right. With that narration, you would think that Mr. Miracle is performing some kind of death-defying stunt. Mr. Miracle has cut his own wrists and is bleeding out on the bathroom floor. This could be a heavy issue to talk about, people. Oof. That is a very, very Kirby-esque intro as far as the dialogue goes, or narration goes. That is a hard-ass image to pair up with that. That is shocking and violent and scary. But at the same time, if you know now that Mr. Miracle has issues related to suicide, that puts all of his stunts into a very stark and frightening, how should I put this? Contrast. Suddenly he's not doing them because he can get out of anything. He's the greatest escape artist ever. Suddenly he's doing them because he wants to die, but has basically learned how never to have to. So there's a page with a joke, but before we get that comes back, and then we transition to 9-panel grid of Mr. Miracle being taken to the hospital. I really like this. All right, so the last thing you read in the top panel right here with Barda crying in the emergency room are the words, "It hurts, it hurts, it hurts." Next panel says Darkseid is. It hurts, Darkseid is. It hurts, Darkseid is. It hurts, Darkseid is. And we see, you know, just Mr. Miracle scot-free going through, you know, treatment in the hospital. And his face changes, but it doesn't really change. We get 3 panels of him on this page. One when he is being driven to the ER. One where he is in the hospital in bed. And then one where he's in the hospital in bed and he's still making the same expression in all of them, but, you know, this one he's grown some facial hair, so he's been doing this for a while. He's released from the hospital, discharged, and he's confronted by the reporters asking him why he did it. And then on this page, given this quick little excerpts from television. It's a sports broadcast. Last thing you read in that bubble or in that panel is, how bad could the backup be? Darkseid is. Next panel. I find that really interesting, the use of what's the last thing you read and then where does it say Darkseid is. Darkseid is not random. Boom Tube shows up and Orion comes in. So Orion comes in, says Scott free. Scott says, yeah, okay. Orion says stand. Scott gets up. Darkseid is standing. Orion punches him. Says stand. Scott gets up. I know. Standing. Orion punches him. Stand. I know. Standing. Orion punches him. Stand. Darkseid is. Barda comes and yells at him. What the hell are you doing? I am teaching. Darkseid is. Teaching? You? Who do you think you are? I am Orion, son of Darkseid. No, no, no. You're Orion, son of Highfather, a stray puppy raised on the fluffled pillows of New Genesis. Now, Scott and I didn't have the privilege of pillows. We were raised on Apocalypse in the pits and the fire. So we know only Granny can teach. There's a discussion of what is the dialogue like in this book. Minimalist. That's about the most dialogue you get in the entire book. There's still more said by different characters, but that's about the heftiest exchange you get. Bardash, Darkseid is. Darkseid is, oh my god. And there's this conversation that takes place between Scott Free and Godfrey on like a late night talk show. Godfrey's asking Scott what was the reason behind his attempt at suicide. And Scott says, no, I want to. It's important for people, you know. It's important for people, for you to know, Godfrey. I want everyone to know what happened. It wasn't important. It was a trick, Darkseid is. I've been doing a lot of escapes lately, a bunch of them, and I was trying to do harder ones, like the hardest ones. And everything was getting really easy, boring for me and the audience. So I was just thinking, how can I be better? You know, what can't I escape from? What shouldn't I escape from? What doesn't anyone escape from? Death. No one escapes from death. So I killed myself. Ha 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 ha. Clap, 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 clap. When I woke up, my lovely wife Barbara was there in the hospital. She found me in our apartment, I guess, and she took me to the hospital. And so that's all that it was. Darkseid is. Why did you commit suicide? It was a trick. I just wanted to see if I could escape from death. Just the way this is drawn, like with the fuzzy TV signal. And all the TV signal is fuzzy in here. Like everything you see that's supposed to be from a screen is always blurred. So I'm sure that's going to mean something later on. But just, he looks so carefree. And he's joking about killing himself. That's a really hard line right there. The idea that he would trivialize something like that. That's denial. That's attempted escapism. with Mr. Miracle. There's a lot there. Next scene is Scott talking with Highfather on a beach on Earth, and he's basically telling him that Darkseid's got the anti-life equation now, and so they're preparing for an oncoming battle. Next thing we got is Scott dealing with the fact that his buddy Oberyn's dead, and there's a callback to the joke that was told earlier, which is and the teacher says to the whole class, draw whatever you want. When they're done, the teacher asks them what they've drawn, and the children say dinosaurs, hearts, superheroes, anything, doesn't matter. Then one child says, I drew God. So the teacher says, that's very nice, but no one knows what God looks like. The child, without a second's hesitation, says, yeah, until now. And so we hear that joke told by Oberyn, and Scott's laughing with him. And Barda shows up, and she's like, Scott, I don't like you being alone here. And tells her, I'm not. I've got Oberyn with me. We were just talking. She says that Oberyn died. So imagine that. So Scott Free is in a very bad place right now. Remember the cancer in his throat from the cigars? He passed last month. Ping, ping, Darkseid is. No. Scott, you were there. We were there. You made the decision. Ping, ping, Darkseid is. He was suffering and you said he wouldn't want that. What? No, I don't. He's here. He's in the room. Darkseid is. He's here. He's telling me a story. There's a kid in a picture. Scott, please, please. Ping, ping. Darkseid is. He's here. Ping, ping. Darkseid is. No, Scott. No one's here. You're alone. Darkseid is. Yes, Motherbox. Darkseid is. Scott, this is Orion. There's no time. Highfather is dead. Darkseid's work. Darkseid is. Darkseid's power is growing. I've taken control of the forces of New Genesis. We are organizing resistance. You and Big Barda are required to come home. Darkseid is. Best page in the entire book. Single black page that says Darkseid is. So as they get ready to go fight Darkseid on New Genesis, Scott confides in Big Barda that he doesn't know if he can do this, that he doesn't know how to escape this. Says he can't escape this. She smacks him to the floor, says stand, and so the act goes on. Standing. Fine. Good. To other satanic and sinister situations simmering with mounting magnitude to juggernaut jousts with the super escape artist's greatest adversary, death. Now come. He will always be seconds away, swift, relentless, final. Follow Mr. Miracle. Enter the next trap. Darkseid awaits. That is a harsh issue to get through. And so it's interesting to talk about some of the background for the character. Mr. Miracle was created by Jack Kirby, and a lot of people have speculated, and I believe Kirby's even mentioned it in interviews, that he was created as a vehicle for him to deal with anxiety. And here King is kind of literalizing that, but still trapping it within some of the within the confines of the jokey, silly comic book, particularly with those narrations. Like, those narrations are completely accurate, but they're in such a context that you could clearly change the scene and they'd be literalized in a completely different way. You can easily kid gloves that stuff. But to put them over such stark and apparent and tumultuous scenes is pretty telling of the kind of book we're going to get here. This is a hard thing to read, guys. This is dark. Man, this is harsh to read. Like, I feel a little anxious and I'm a little nervous every page turn, as I just don't know what's going to happen here. But not in like the, oh, this is so exciting, who's going to win this fight kind of way, but in like, is this guy going to be all right? I'm worried for him. And it's scary, man. This is a hard read. Let's talk about Mitch Gerard's art a little bit too. I love this opening page because we get the classic pointed style shading, and it's interesting to see how that kind of, like, it's only those first 3 pages that we have any pointed shading, I think, because the rest of it is pretty much traditional, you know, color uses. It's got like a very faded, kind of washed out color with some interesting lighting effects as far as toning things down goes. But this opening scene with Scott committing suicide, the painting, the pointillism kind of goes and fades away into more of the full-on color. So it starts out very pointed, and then it fills out, I guess you could call it. Phil Kelton says, yeah, it's dark, but it feels kind of inspiring. I have a really hard time seeing how you could see this as inspiring. This is someone just dealing and barely scraping by with depression and anxiety and obviously thoughts of suicide. But kind of being told in a weird way, just stand and get through it. And that's harsh. That's a hard one to read, guys. This is not for the faint of heart. Yeah, go ahead and go on. Man, is that oof. All right. Let's see here in the comments. Shamix virus has something to do with Zim or Urkin Empire. Virus is evil. Invader Zim's coming up later. I got one more book to talk about before we get to Invader Zim. I'm not sure what you're talking about there. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about Venom, number 153. So at the intro of this episode, Deadpoolzilla, I believe, asked, why am I still reading this book? It made it to my, I do the pool party every month with Cap. It made it to my worst comic of the month. Really, the really worst one was one of the issues of Secret Empire, but I just am tired of talking about that book on that show, so I decided to pick something else. But yeah, I'm not enjoying Venom so far. I think it's been a really hard thing to read through these last couple issues. Shadow Batman, it's Eddie Brock that's Venom right now. But this has been a really hard read ever since Eddie Brock got the Venom suit back. Like, I really don't want it to be Eddie Brock because he seems to be the problem with it. But you know what? It's been a 3-parter called The Land Before Crime. This is the conclusion of that 3-parter. My hope is just that this was like a weird crossover with Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. I'm just hoping this is the end of this style of storytelling, and that my Costa, how do you say that name? Costa. I'm gonna go with Costa. Is going back to what he was writing. I hope this just was a really bad crossover. Though to be fair, so Devil Dinosaur is being mind controlled by the dinosaur cult leader man, and they have to find a way to get Devil Dinosaur not to attack them so that they can, you know, take out the dinosaur cult. Why am I not enjoying this book? That should just be something I like. And in the process of doing so, the only way to manage it is to put the symbiote on Devil Dinosaur. So, I mean, why wasn't this the cover? Why is the cover Devil Dinosaur being attacked and Venom and Moon Girl hanging out? The cover should very clearly be Devil Dinosaur with the Venom symbiote on it. Because then you'd have a cover of a comic book that's a Venom symbiote on a T-Rex. And that should just be a thing. I mean, the art's really cool. That's the one thing I haven't been slacking on, is I really think the art looks really great and really fun for this. And I mean, I'm sure that the writer is having fun right now telling this story. It is so out of place. It really feels like a completely different team. So anyway, they defeat the dinosaur cult guy, and Moon Girl gets Devil Dinosaur back, and Eddie goes to get the medication that he was promised. Goes to get the medication he was promised as payment for taking out the dinosaur cult. Cool. And then Eddie Brock is living on the street with the Venom symbiote now. Now it probably won't go crazy and kill people. That's the issue. There's like a image of a newspaper that says Skrull invasion government hoax. I don't know if he's gonna like try to convince people that he was taken over by a Skrull, or a Skrull was taking his place or something like that. That's kind of stupid. I don't know. I don't really understand why this tone shift happened. I don't like the tone shift, and I really hope that it goes back to the old tone. But man, that is a harsh opening for Eddie Brock on Venom. So now that this story arc's wrapped up, I'm going to give it one more story arc, maybe only one more issue, to be honest with you. We'll see if I stick with this or not. If the next issue seems to be the same kind of goofy, over-the-top tone, it's not what I'm interested in. All right. let's go ahead and move on to Invader Zim, number 22. Woo! All right. Shamex2 has been blowing up the comments section talking about Invader Zim, so I hope you are pleased that we're now going to talk about Invader Zim. Yeah, he has been. Dude, what is up? I'm getting to the book, I promise. What's up with the comments? Like, you guys in the live show can see this. It's nuts. Someone is really excited to listen to Invader Zim. So yeah, this is number 22. And it's the plot of this issue is that Zim wants to blow up a hot Cheezos factory and spread hot Cheezos dust throughout Earth's atmosphere so that the Earth's population chokes to death on their spicy treat. And during that attempt, Gur keeps turning into like evil Gur, where he gets like the red eyes, and attempting to kill Zim. And it makes his plans go awry, and it's kind of cool to get a Zim Gur fight scene here. It reminds me of that episode of the show where oh, what is it? Where Gur like takes over the AI of the ship / house on Earth. Reminds me a lot of that episode where it's just Zim dealing with Gur. So yeah, it's like every time Gur transforms into like red eye evil Gur mode, he goes Protocol Virus Omega. To try and thwart Zim's plans. What you doing? Thwart my plans? Are you? Knock it off. Anyway. Zim thwarts his plan, and the Cheezos factory melts to the ground. Cool. So Zim's like, crap, gotta figure this out. And plugs Gur into the home computer and tries everything he can think of to get rid of the virus or whatever's causing an issue. And the computer says, enter an antivirus virtual reality world in which you could be in actual danger of death? Yes, no. Zim says, no, why would I want to go through all that stupid trouble? And the thing like slams down on Zim's head anyway, which is pretty funny. And then Zim is now in Gur's brain. Gur's brain, huh? Yep, this explains a lot. Virus Protocol Omega, I'm coming for you. So yeah, this looks like it'll be a ongoing story to be apparently published until issue 25, as Shamex2 says. That'll be cool. It's a fun enough story. I like the idea of Zim running around in Gur's brain trying to deal with shit. That's a fun idea. See how it goes. Gur's wacky brain, yeah. As far as this issue goes, though, I got a couple legit laughs out of this. So Zim is posing as an engineer named Engineer Scientist with his assistant named Assistant to get into the Cheezos factory and you know, do his evil plan. And so he sends the company an email. It's like, to the hideous cheese slaves from your superior overlord. Subject, power plant! Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. We will be sending engineer scientist and assistant to build a hypersingularity power plant. Do not stop him! He is a perfectly normal engineer scientist. Worship me, the Home Office. It's pretty good. That's pretty funny. It's just very, very Zim-like. And there's like a security guard who's suspicious of what Zim's doing and all this stuff, so he actually like arrests him to interrogate him for a while. And he goes, I bet you're wondering why Chizo's security is so important to me. Not really. It's because when I was a child, I had a bag of Chizos and somebody stole it. That's it. That was a good joke. That one got me like, that's your whole origin? 2 panels? Like, it's just this dead, silent panel. Zim's like waiting for more. He's like, Zim, that's it. There's also a lot of talk about getting Chizo dust in your eye sockets. I like that. It's how he like tortures him as he just shoves a Chizo right in his eyeball, which would be a pretty bad way to go. I gotta say, if I had information that I didn't want you to have, but you shoved a Cheeto in my eye, I'd probably give up that information. That is a very effective method of torture. Otherwise, the art, yeah, it looks right out of the show. Some of the designs for goofy stuff kind of gets me, like the Chizo employees that have like cheese-shaped guns and Cheeto-shaped hats and stuff like that. It's kind of silly fun. Just, I don't know, it just feels like something the show would do. Not necessarily a 3-parter, but that's okay too. We'll just see how it goes. I'm curious to see more. Glad I've been picking this up. It's fun so far. All right. I hope that Shamex2 is satisfied now that I have talked about Invader Zim. Dude, don't blow up my comment section. Other people are trying to ask me stuff too. Nathan Snyder says if you stuck a Cheeto in his eye, he'd still eat the Cheeto. I don't think I'd do that. Not because like I'd be offended or anything. It's because it'd have eyeball juice on it. Anyway, let's go ahead and go on and talk about Black Panther for the hard way. The next trade in the original Hudlin Black Panther run, and I'm beginning to notice a pattern that kind of annoys me. And this is a problem with a lot of comics. This is not specific to Hudlin's run. There's a lot of crossover. There's just a lot of crossovers with these big Marvel events. Like, you had the House of M stuff, and then you had a crossover with the mutants right after the 6-issue intro. Then you got the Bride story, or you got Bad Mother, which was kind of on its own thing, and then the Bride. So those were kind of on their own thing. And that was pretty good. Then you got Civil War, and it's not that anything's been bad. It's been varied levels of okay to all right, whatever, or good. It's just that, like, I feel like no story is being told, or not enough story is happening because we keep getting distracted and having to go and deal with all this other stuff. So in this issue, or in this volume, Black Panther and Storm join the Fantastic Four temporarily to fill in for Reed Richards and Sue Storm. As those two go away to work on their marriage. Meanwhile, you have the negative zone with a prison being built in it, and the inhabitants of the negative zone don't like that, so they're planning a retaliation. Basically, what happens is you have a bunch of interesting political turmoil and developments. I'm really curious about all that in the first issue, and then it all derails with the Fantastic Four for a while. Like there's this interesting discussion about what happened to the cannibal from the first volume, and I really wanted to figure out what's going on with that. And we're getting some hints. There's some stuff here and there like setting that up, but instead, the negative zone sends a giant cockroach warrior into the Baxter building, and that happens like seconds after the new Fantastic Four just got back from interdimensional jumping by using this golden magical frog thing that they found. And I mean, this is, again, it's not that it's poorly written. I don't want to give that impression. Like, this scene, this exchange of dialogue is really funny. Storm says, I'm a little tired after all that. I think I'll take a nap. Shal says, sounds good. I'm going to check out the progress on the Wakandan embassy set up here in the Baxter building. Beloved, perhaps you should consider taking a little nap too. Nap. Right. Thing. Now there's somebody who could show Reed a thing or two about priorities. I like that scene. That's funny. That's enjoyable. I got a laugh out of that scene. That was a good one. But then the evil cockroach monster from the negative zone is storming through the Baxter building, and everybody's using their abilities on him, and nothing seems to really be working. So T'Challa comes up with the brilliant solution to use the magical frog on him and teleport him away to another place, intending to take him back to the negative zone. Instead, they end up on the Skrull homeworld, right as it's about to be invaded by Marvel zombies. So they're on the Skrull homeworld in the Marvel Zombies universe. Notice T'Challa's on crutches because he's missing a leg, has a hole in his chest. The thing's lumbering around like a zombie. That Storm's head is a skull. And so is the Human Torch. It's because this whole rest of this book is just about them dealing with Marvel zombies and how to get back home. Yep, the Marvel zombies ate Galactus and were given the power cosmic, and thus became Galactus. So really, the rest of the issues are just nothing but action and how do we get out of this? How do we get out of this? There's literally no character development. It is just, oh, Marvel zombie situation. It's like reading a horror movie, or being in a horror movie and with science fiction and Marvel characters. It's kind of ridiculous, kind of tongue in cheek at times. I like some of the art. That's cool. Like, this cover's cool. Anyway, yeah, it's just, seriously, it's just they are fighting the Marvel zombies. Every time they try to use the magical frog to teleport out of this situation, they just end up somewhere else on the planet in worse shape. Shadow Batman says, so out of all the Black Panther trades so far, which is your favorite? It's easily Who is the Black Panther? The Bride comes a close second. And that's not the best of news because like the run's been pretty good overall. It's been fun. It's definitely had a voice. It's just like it feels like we keep meandering and getting distracted, and that's a problem. Like, here's the particularly annoying thing about this, all right? I'm getting through this entire trade, but they keep having to deal with the Marvel Zombies issue after issue of just, how do we get off the Skrull planet with the Marvel Zombies if the frog doesn't work? And the Marvel Zombies come to the conclusion, hey, we keep moving from planet to planet and eating people. But we did eat Galactus, and Galactus ate planets. So why don't we try, like, just eating the planet? And so they're like, oh, yeah, that's a good idea. So they just start, like, destroying the planet to devour it. And T'Challa and the group, the rest of the Fantastic Four, try to use the frog to teleport off the planet. And all it does is leave them right where they are. It doesn't teleport them anymore. Or no, actually, I take that back. It teleports them right in front of the giant bug monster that they couldn't beat earlier, who is now a zombie. And then the planet explodes. Man. So not only am I distracted for the majority of the volume from the story I want to be following. Not that this is bad. Again, it's not that it's bad. It's just like I would not have picked up Black Panther deals with the Marvel Zombies by choice. It's fine for that. But it's not what interests me. It's not what I find interesting. The first two issues deal with the cannibal subplot, which was the really big cliffhanger from the end of Who is the Black Panther? And I'm curious to see where that goes. But this whole crossover with the Marvel Zombies is just dull to me. I just don't care. I'm not invested in a story about the Marvel Zombies. I wanted a story about Black Panther and Storm dealing with all these fucking socio-political issues. Socioeconomic and political issues. That was the thing I found fascinating. That's what I liked about what I've been reading. Philip Kelton says Black Panther is an important character in the Marvel Zombie stories. Yeah, but it's not even that Black Panther. This is Black Panther from the 616 universe being teleported and just thrown in the middle of dealing with Marvel Zombies. That's the difference here. I guess. I don't know. I find this really, really dull. And I've got to deal with at least one more issue in the next volume of it, probably. Like, let's go check. Next volume is going to be called Little Green Men. What is the opening like? Yep. T'Challa's in heaven in the next issue. That is the first visual we get is T'Challa in heaven. So apparently they died or are hallucinating or something. And I wouldn't be reading that. Well, and I got my phone ringing in the other room. So we're going to sit here for a minute and wait for that to turn off. Sorry about that. Let's see. Is it good? Is it good? I think it's good. So yeah, this is just not a particularly good volume. Again, it's not bad. This is just okay. And it's just not something I wanted to read. Anyway, that's going to do it for comic reviews. But I wanted to talk to the live audience, so please don't leave. Okay, so I said this at the beginning of the video. For people watching after the fact to comment on, and if you watch through the whole video, please do make sure to leave your feedback on what you would like for these different options. So I've been reading and doing comic reviews for about 2 years now, and I've been doing trades spliced in there now again, and that's, you know, that's not going away or anything. It's just I got a comment suggesting that I should be posting the trade reviews as an additional video. So like it wouldn't be that I would only review trades in these separate videos. It would be I would download the video, the comic reviews, and I would post the trade as its own video. And I'm planning to do that. And so what I'm planning to post them as separate videos, but here's the thing. Going back through my archive of trades that I've talked about, I have over 54 separate episodes that would be. So what I want feedback on from you guys is how would you like me to post those? Because I could post one a week for like a year, and I don't want to do that. That's too much. Because then I wouldn't be catching up. I can post 2 a week and cut that time in half, or I could post like 1 every day. So for like a good 2 months, you would be getting 2 videos from me most days, since I'm almost at the point where I'm posting daily anyway. So it's just up to you guys. What would you prefer? What kind of posting schedule would you guys like to see is what I want to know. I really don't want to stretch it out to a year, over a year, by doing just weekly. Maybe twice weekly would be a better way of looking at it, like one on Friday, one on, I don't know, Monday or something like that. I'm just trying to generate feedback from you guys about what you what you would like me to do. So leave what you think would be a good idea in the comments. Let's see here. What are people saying? Ray Childs is talking about War of the Planet of the Apes. Shadow Batman's asking, so are you asking how to do comic reviews? No, I'm asking how you would like me to post, like just discussing the trades. Because I'd be posting the trade reviews as their own video in addition to it being contained within the episode of comic reviews. But they'd be the trade talk section would be posted as its own video as well. So you'd still get comic reviews, and when I had a trade, the trade would still be in that video, but also all my backlog of videos would be of trade reviews would be their own separate videos as well. So I'm asking, like, for you guys, because I don't like to flood people's feeds. I know how annoying it is to have, you know, someone that posts 20 videos a day. That gets really annoying. I don't want to scare people off. So what I want to know from you guys is, when I start posting these backlog of trade videos and in addition new videos, how would you prefer I do it? Twice weekly, once a day for like 2 months? Just what would you like? No, it wouldn't be live. This would be backlog videos. Just like if you go find, let's see here. If you go to the comic reviews episode for 11/11 of 15, I do a review of the trade Zorro Rides Again, Volume 2, The Wrath of Lady Zorro. So that would be its own video. That would be posted as its own video, and I'm just trying to figure out how you guys would like me to post it. If you'd want me to be posting for 54 days in a row, 55 now, or if you'd like me to post, you know, twice a week. Just trying to get your guys' feedback. Just soaking it all in here. Yes, Shadow Batman, they're all past reviews. 2 videos for the trades each month. No. That'd be over 2 years. That'd be like 5 years just to get caught up with where I am now. Shemx2 is on about Invader Zim again. I don't really know what you mean. Grady Childs is asking me to read Civil War. I really don't want to, but I will if you want. I'm just asking right now, how would you like me to post videos? Bi-weekly is getting a vote. So yeah, it's just I just want you guys' feedback on that, because again, I know how annoying it is for someone to be posting daily, and I don't want to make you guys feel like I'm flooding your feed or something. And a lot of people just don't care. It seems aren't really doing much feedback on it, and that's fine. You don't have to care. I don't mind. Shamex2 keeps saying Invader Zim backstory in the comics. I assume it's the same backstory he's always had. I don't know what you're asking of me. Grady Childs is talking about Batman vs Superman. I really don't care about that movie. Oh, though, Rift Tracks, also known the team that did Mystery Science Theater 3000, they're doing a Rift Tracks on Batman vs Superman. And like, woo! That sounds nuts. Oh man, the idea that I might end up going to see Batman v Superman in the theaters again would be pretty funny. Just for the Rift Tracks version of it. I don't know if it's going to be the ultimate cut or the theatrical cut. I imagine they'd probably just go for theatrical just because it's less time. Shadow Batman and Philip Kelton are throwing around ideas about me posting like a bunch of videos every Monday. That could work too. Bi-weekly, 5 vids, maybe. I don't know. Just something I'm thinking about. I'll take feedback from live comments and stuff like, or not live comments. These are the live comments. I'll take feedback from comments posted after this is aired. I'm not making a decision yet. I just want to know what people are thinking would be a good idea, because I mean, just like, this is my list of all the trades I've talked about so far on the show in the 2 years I've been doing it, and it's 59. I was wrong. It's 59 videos. Almost this will make 60 episodes. So we are well over a year worth of just single week videos. So that's out the door. Anyway, I think that's going to do it for comic reviews, though. Yeah, just everyone, please make sure to leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Bye.